G'day and welcome back to the Shed of Basketball Truth. It is Studio 3 for Ball Don't Lie Australia. I'm back in the country. We're all good. It was an amazing trip. Some pretty horrible phone reception there, hence why the gaps in the crack-a-day addiction that we've got going on, but it is what it is. But we are back, and of course, it's been a year and a week to the day since she's been here in the studio. Jacinta Govind, welcome back.
Hello, thank you. Yeah, a year and the day. Fancy that. A year ago, I was only thinking of moving to Brisbane, and here I am now, almost a year. Well, just over a year today since I've been in the studio, and then my full anniversary of living in Brisbane for a year is only in March. But time certainly goes very quickly.
Well, we're happy to take credit for lots of things, as long-term listeners will know, and we'll take credit for that. Yeah. I've got you over the line. Did you realise how amazing Brisbane could be?
Oh, it's great. I mean, part of me thinks it'd be the perfect city if it had a beach, but then I remember that might bring beach culture with it, which isn't always a plus.
Not always.
Give it or take it. So,
and we do have Redcliffe, which has monster waves about yay high, which are the perfect, sort of kids paddling pool, sort of, relaxing afternoon walk sort of situation.
Yeah, I don't mind about wave height as long as I can get into a body of water. I'm happy.
Nice. All right, of course, our show is brought to you, of course, by the official beer of basketball, the official beer company, and spread throughout the land of the world on the Podfire network, of course. And don't forget, we will be doing crackem just like every other week. And this week we've got a pack of 2023 WNBA Prisms. Since you're in the house, that could be absolutely amazing. It could be like pulling teeth. We'll see how deep the cards go. But of course, thank you to the great team at local card shop of Woolloongabba, who of course help us out with our pack a day addiction. Get down and see the team at the local card shop of Woolloongabba. All right. Look, lots of stuff going on. We're here today to talk about WNBL a little bit more specifically, and we're definitely going to look into NBL1 North players and how they've gone in the WNBL this season. And at the end, I might even get you to not blind rank, but give me a top three of who's over there and who's in the WNBL from the NBL1 North, who's literally just nailing it this year. Can't help but think a certain Woodsy might be on or near the very top of that list, but she's having a cracker season. But we'll get to that. Anything important? I know the answer to this. There's something very important in the WNBL this week. What round are we up to, Jacinta?
It is the period poverty round. So every year the WNBL will partnership with certain outlets, charities, or initiatives, I should say. In the past, they've partnered with, say, a mental health round and, raise money for Lifeline. They've also started to increase their partnership and initiative with domestic violence. So this season, I think a lot of players had a purple band on their uniform the whole season rather than just having one DV round. It was like a consistent initiative throughout. And so, this round is now a period poverty round, meaning that's just bringing awareness to a lot of Australian women who don't have readily access, don't have access to a lot of the sanitary products or menstrual products, depending on how people want to put it, due to their circumstances of living below, the poverty line, victims of domestic violence, etc. So WNBL partnered with a group called Share the Dignity to bring more awareness around period poverty and also encourage a lot of fans of the WNBL to donate some stuff through through Share the Dignity. So sometimes you can go to a supermarket and find a Share the Dignity tub where you can buy some stuff, put it, donate it straight away into there. You can also jump online and get a pair of these period poverty socks. Last year I actually bought a pack of 10 and then sent 9 of the 10 pairs to some of my friends and allies in the community that would also be supporting period poverty rounds. So you can jump on there and get some socks as well, and proceeds go towards Share the Dignity.
All right. And look, while we're here, we can't have you here and not talk First Subs.
First Subs, yes, First Subs. So for those that don't know, First Subs was started in Western Sydney by 2 women named Kaz and Madelle. Basically, they had a bunch of friends. They all wanted to play pickup together, but there was never a pickup get organised just for women. So they started to run it, and the running joke was that they had a group chat of who's going to come to the run tonight. And, you know, women of a certain age, certain responsibilities, career, family, other roles, whatever, sometimes weren't able to arrive on time or come and play a comp every week. They couldn't commit to a weekly comp. So they started a scrimmage. And usually in the chat, they'd say, yeah, I'm coming, but I'll be first sub. So I really want to come. I'm going to be late. I'll be first sub. So that's how the name First Subs came about. So the idea, it's a
Love it. I've been first sub before with that exact sort of reason. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. You never know what's going to happen during your day leading up to your weekly game or a pickup game or something. So you got to let your team.
Classic.
Know.
Stuck in traffic. I'll be first sub.
Happened to me already when I was playing in Auchenflower. Like completely misjudging how long it's going to take from Windsor to Auchenflower on some nights when it's raining or when we've got an early game or something. And I was like, oh, greatly mistimed this. I'm going to be late. Hence why I'm like, I got first sub. So yeah, it's First Subs. It's a weekly women's pickup game. We've started to franchise it per se here in Brisbane at Cooperoo. It's going to be Friday nights from either 6:30 or 7. So we encourage any female basketball player, regardless of experience or skill set, even if you've just got that budding interest and you want to see what it's like, please come along. The best way to stay in contact with when we're going to have our runs in Cooperoo is by following First Subs on Instagram. It's literally just at First Subs. And we'll start to put all of our posters up there when the next run is on. And a cool feature now you can do on Instagram, I think, when you run a business page, is that if it's an event, you can kind of click attending and it will prompt you to pay for your spot. So you can see when our next First Subs runs on, RSVP, pay for your spot, all in one hit. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Nice. First Subs, get around it. All right. Now, can't get on here. Obviously, I've been away. I've been to America, went to Indiana, hence my brand new Fever merch. Incidentally, with the strong Aussie dollar, this is now my most expensive jersey.
Ooh, represent.
Yeah. Absolute banger. Had a great. Who knew the Fieldhouse was such an amazing place to go and watch basketball? Everyone who's ever been there.
I forgot that I've actually been there, funnily enough. I think that's one of 2 or 3 NBA venues I've actually been to. Once upon a time, instead of going to schoolies for year 12, I went on, I don't know if they call it NITP up here, but basically high performance program in New South Wales of the time. It was called ITC. So if anyone knows, I'm probably aging myself a lot now. We went.
That happens a bit, don't stress.
Yeah. You know, if you listen closely, you can pick up on some clues. But
there's some nuance.
Yeah. We went over and did a tour of, like a basketball tour, played against some high schools, some community colleges, had a tour of Conseco Fieldhouse, and it blew my mind in how big it was. Like, it was definitely the largest sporting venue I'd ever been to in that point in my life, and maybe still. Yeah,
and a great entrance sort of hall, the main doors. It's just bam, you know, jerseys, banners, all the kind of, well, I say banners. They only technically have ABA ones on the men's side. Obviously there during Pacers time. But, they, and they had some cool stuff in the rafters, like divisional. They won the division a specific year, and that was it. But that was enough to go up in the rafters, which couldn't help but take a dig and point that out to my good friend Trent, who was sitting beside us. He was a long time Pacers fan, loves the 31 and Reggie Miller. And, I had to point out to him that wouldn't happen at, say, Tiddy Garden or, because they've got too many banners, too many actual banners. But there was the ABA three-peat, the original, he likes to tell me. I don't think it really counts, but, But, no, it was a great experience. And the 12 inches of snow that Indiana copped and in that week was only made it more spectacular. So it was really cool.
Yeah, and you get accustomed to, putting on layers when you're going out to the snow, but then as soon as you enter any indoor venue, regardless of where you are, what you're doing, it's like sweltering inside.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And I wasn't prepared for how wet my kicks would get, like from walking through the snow. It's like, yeah, it's just snow. It's just powder. It'll be fit. No, it's actually water.
Yeah.
And it does melt on your shoes but anyway, magical time. We're back. We cracked a pack while we were there. We've been cracking packs ever since, but we have had some technical difficulties with getting those videos up, but we are back now. And the cracking a pack a day addiction will continue. Can't stop that bad boy.
Crack a pack is becoming our equivalent of pluck a duck. Again,
well, that is aging you horribly. And I'm older than you. Ooh, take that.
Might have a couple months on you. We'll discuss that off air.
Yeah, probably best. Probably best.
The mystery for our loyal
listeners
and viewers.
Yep, and let's not go down any Harry Connick Jr. sort of lines that get this show cancelled as well. All right. Now, we are here to talk NBL1 North, but with a WNBL spin, because there are, whilst no conference quite gets close to the NBL1 South for a number of players, we gave it a crack. I mean, we're up there. And Jacinta, you are our resident WNBL expert. Where do you want to start? Who should we talk about first in this space?
I will preface by saying I appreciate the expert title, but I have been on a 2.5-month basketball sabbatical, so I probably won't be as sharp or knowledgeable as I usually am, purely because, I had to take a sabbatical. The last 3 years were always like, I need to take a rest. I've been too busy. I actually had to take a rest this time because I got unwell, and had I not taken a proper rest, I would have gotten more unwell. So I've been a little bit MIA, but I'm starting to come back into the scene, so to speak. So I do have notes. I don't usually rely on notes, but I've basically just gone team by team. The first team that I covered was Geelong.
Now there's one close to our heart there.
Yeah.
Now, Brizzy Capitals.
Yes, so Hannah Hank is the top of the list where I started.
Triple H herself.
Yes, and there was one of the Geelong United fans had a really great sign for Hannah Hank at one of the home games, and it's on the WNBL website, and it's something like hashtag I wish I need to look it up. I wish I remembered it. I did write it down in my previous notes that I ended up discarding and starting again. But it's a really cool sign. It's like hashtag hang in there like Hank, or hustle like Hank or something.
Hustle like Hank. I like it.
I think it's hustle like Hank or something like that, which was really, really cool. But yeah, I mean, we were both really excited when she got signed for WNBL. She was, this being last season being my first NBL1 North season, my first cap season, and she was instantly.
You could just say first proper season. Up here in the North, where it's real.
Where it's hot all the time, on and off the court. But yeah, Hannah Hank was definitely one of my fast favorites of that cap squad, so we were very excited. And I think she's been doing remarkably well in the WNBL. I really like that it was a debut season, and Chris Lucas had started to play her consistent minutes from the start. It wasn't a typical, like, you're a rookie, You're going to sit on the end of the bench for a bit. Maybe you'll get some minutes when we're up by 20 or 30 points. She was a consistent part of the rotation.
We like to call those Mal minutes, but yeah.
Mal minutes. Oh, I'm no stranger to Mal minutes. I'm not above Mal minutes. I'll take some. Mal minutes.
I happily took every crumb that was offered.
Yeah.
You know, there was a reason others ate first.
Yeah. But yeah, so she's been doing really well, looks very comfortable. Her minutes are now increasing because, unfortunately, Keely Froling is now out for the season with a meniscus injury, which you hate to see. But, yeah, I think Hannah
But there's always another Froling, mate.
There's always another Froling. But, yeah, so now Hannah's been seeing increase in minutes. She has played all 16 games and started 9 of the 16 games now. I think a field goal percentage is pretty good, 38.5% overall, 82 from the free throw line, and she's averaging 6.9 points per game, 4.2 rebounds per game, and 1.6 steals per game. But one of the highlights so far is against Bendigo, where she helped limit Tolo to only 9 points.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and in the same game, Hannah herself had 18 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 7 from 12 overall. So that's certainly an outstanding game for a rookie.
And all from all reports, you know, truly wholesome, just delightful human being.
Yeah, and it looks like she's having a wholesome, delightful time in Geelong. There's lots of great Instagram content with team going out and doing some off-court bonding and whatever else, and that should be part of it for an athlete as well, whether you're a rookie or a veteran. Having that balance is super important.
And sadly for us, though, won't be returning to the NBL1 North. Has already signed, I believe, with the Geelong United NBL1 team, which I'm sure won't get confusing at any stage. It'll,
especially given that they've signed 4 or 5 of their current WNBL roster to their NBL1 roster. So yeah, no, not confusing at all.
No.
We love consistency.
Yeah.
So that's Hannah Hank. I think she's really meeting or even exceeding expectations for a rookie, and especially in a brand new team.
Which fantastic to see, and again shows that pathway, that continued pathway that NBL1 provides. Because I know when I interviewed Coach Cheney at the start of the season, that was definitely one of the things we talked about. That was that's where Hannah wanted to be, and it's great to see that she's made the jump and been able to sustain a proper jump, not just a trial or rookie sort of situation. So awesome. Where to next?
So staying in Geelong, they also had Taylor Mole signed from Mackay. That's right. Having a couple of huge games for Mackay last season in NBL1. I think one of them was a 49 or 50-point game, double-double. But unfortunately for Taylor, she's been injured most of the season. So she started to come back to court more recently, but she's only played 3 games so far, and that was all, in the last month. So returned to court against the Perth Lynx on the 23rd of December, then has played against the Fire and the Caps ever since. So hopefully she's, just returning to court and will be able to find her feet a little bit more.
All right. And, of course, there are a couple of teams that have made the bold decision not to sign anyone from the NBL1 North. I mean, that's bold, guys. For example, the Flyers gone a different way, and Spirit as well don't have any of the NBL1 North players, which there is a lot of talent around the NBL1 Australia as a whole, though, so clearly they found what they needed elsewhere. But where to next on our trip around the WNBL?
Yeah, just south of that border. Given that Bendigo and south side are Victorian-based teams, and that's a massive hub for basketball talent, we're going to Adelaide.
Adelaide.
Yeah, with the Lightning Strikes.
Lightning, yep.
Yeah, so Hayley Andrews is, I can't say making her WNBL debut because she has played for Townsville in the past. Also, she was a part of a championship-winning team. But, yeah, so she
has the ring to prove it.
Has the ring, yes. And so she should show it off. Hayley Andrews, after her college career in Portland, played the season with the Sunshine Coast Phoenix. Last NBL1 North season is with the Adelaide Lightning. I was interested to see how she was going to fit in that style of play under Nat Hurst, but now Nat Hurst has since exited, unfortunately. But I think Hayley has been able to find her feet. I think for her, the adjustment is being able to play a different role, in a sense where she had a lot of responsibility at Portland and for the Phoenix, and then just being able to give that responsibility to someone else and not have to be in control of everything is a big adjustment.
For sure.
Yeah, and probably playing off the ball a little bit more, and she's used to playing with the ball in her hands a lot. But all things considered, I think she's still doing really, really well. She started 4 of the 16 games. Her minutes have also increased as the season progressed because I think they've had various injuries here or there. And the highlight, I think, so far is that the times when she's been able to play a little bit more in the back end of this season, we've started to see her passing ability really come to light. So we already knew that she was an assist machine at Portland and in the NBL1 North, but seeing that transfer into WNBL is really nice to see. So she had 6 assists against the Flyers, 5 against the Spirit, and 6 against the Caps. So against a lot of other competitive quality teams, dishing out that many assists is pretty good.
Well, speaking of assists, I mean, someone now tops the list, right?
That's right. Kelly Wilson, the absolute never say die athlete of the WNBL, already top of the list for most games played. She is now top of the list for most assists, career assists in the WNBL. I'm pretty sure I wrote down how many she has. 1,618 assists. She has taken over Kristen Veal. And look, it was bound to happen the way that she's played at an elite standard her whole life. Like I don't think she's faltered. I don't think she's someone who really gets injuries either. I think she's probably part machine.
Well, realistically, the biggest break from the game was, motherhood stuff. So, and when you see her in real life, it's like, oh my Lord, you are tiny, petite, and yet somehow still absolutely rock solid. And yeah, obviously, very high IQ, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, hats off to Miss Wilson for getting her done. Top of the list.
Top of 2 lists now. I can't see. I mean, if she continues to play, it'll be interesting to see if she continues, if Bendigo win the championship. Be interesting to see if we might see some retirement announcements. But look, if she even goes one more season, it's going to be very hard for anyone to beat her in games played and assists after that. Like, she has certainly cemented herself in the history books. For
sure. And someone who hasn't, got a whole lot of, Opal's love, but still, that dominated that WNBL level, in her space, which is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Lightning ticked just like that. It was gone. Bang.
It struck once and never again.
She gone. All right. Where to next? Where do you want to take this? You want to keep going? Go west.
Correct. That is exactly where we're going. We're going all the way to the Perth Lynx for Mila Soa.
Right behind you. That's right. Of course, the now not defunct, because they're obviously still an association, but they've taken the step back from the NBL1, the North Gold Coast Seahawks, to focus on their junior and other development pathways for their teams. But Mila obviously had an amazing season and hell of a scorer. Her and Ruth were a very dynamic duo here in the NBL1 North. Yeah,
and they had the really great support acts around them, a really lovely team built around them as well. Haramaya being probably my favourite. I hope we see her back in the NBL1 North somewhere. But yeah, Mila is just going strength to strength,
Sure is.
And I still credit Chris Lucas for signing her for the Melbourne Boomers all those seasons ago, just as, I don't even know if it's an injury replacement or just like a mid-season signing because I was like, this girl's come back from Duke. Someone probably needs to sign her and start harnessing her talents for the WNBL. So thank you, Chris Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
And that, since then, Mila's been included in the Kangaroos squad and she's still playing exceptionally well in the WNBL. Like you said, flat out scorer.
And of course, friend of the show. And obviously, congratulations on her nuptials since we've seen her here in the NBL1 North as well. So,
yeah, that's right.
All happening.
And I think now that means that she's married, she doesn't have to wear the protective mask when she plays, because that was mostly to make sure she didn't break her nose again before the wedding.
Well,
I
yes.
would do the same.
But hey, she also wears that as a badge of honor. And who wouldn't if LJ did it? I mean, so
yeah.
LJ turned around, clocked her right in the nose with her elbow. It's like, don't need an auto.
No, it's permanent.
Yep.
It's permanent, yeah. And then starting the trend of the mask, it was trending so much in NBL1 last season, it warranted an article, which I liked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was even at what turned out to be their final game when they took on the Wizards. And the people behind me got a lesson in all about the mask because they were like, why is she wearing a mask? It was like, well, guys.
Let me tell you.
Yes. You're going to get a basketball education whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, wow, actually, that's really cool. Yeah, obviously. But, sadly, they was their final game of the season and, of course, for the Seahawks franchise. But
for now, anyway.
For now.
Yeah.
It's basketball. Things come around.
Yeah. But, Mila has been shooting the lights out in WNBL. 43.4% from the field overall, which is pretty outstanding, especially when you're having, I think she's had 5-6 games where she's had at least 20 points. Highlight being against Bendigo when she had 25 points and she shot 11 from 15 overall, including 3 3-pointers, but no free throws. So 25 points but no free throws is impressive. She's still shooting 92.4% from the free throw line, 32% from the 3-point line, and averaging, I can't remember if I said before, but averaging 15.4 points per game. So, just lighten it up over there. Certainly found the right team and, I think, system for her. Yeah.
Which is, of course, one of the really hardest things about professional basketball. Finding that fit that's just right for you and complements your game in a way that you can still help the team is tricky, but seems to have found a niche over there in Perth.
Yeah, definitely. And you got to keep doing what's working for you. Yeah.
And she's not the only one over there in Perth.
Of course, Mackenzie Clinch-Hoycart is also playing for Perth, who suited up for Southern District Spartans last NBL1 North season. And
they put together quite a good run. They had a really good team. It just came up short on the night and came across a Seahawks team that was just absolutely on fire. And hopefully, I'd like to think there was a mixture of, when she got to Perth camp of, sort of, somewhere in between. A nice, bantery mix, I like to think. But
yes, I'm going to remind you of this, but we're also going to be great teammates.
Yes,
and we'll have this weird in between.
Yeah, because it's probably going to happen again at some point, let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But, to be fair, that quarterfinals, the Seahawks just, played out of their skin. I think that was certainly one of their best games that they put together. And the Spartans were really competitive for most of it, but they weren't consistent in that game. They just couldn't put the building blocks together to try and get over the Seahawks. But, so
that's okay. I predicted that outcome, so with the Seahawks getting up. So I'm not going to take credit. I had nothing to do with it, but I'm definitely going to just let everyone know again. Called it.
I think it's still worth a little bit of bragging rights when you can use it, when you can play that card. Yeah.
Sure, for sure.
But Macca is back in Perth. I think she's WA born and raised, so back in her hometown playing for Perth. She's played all 17 games but no starts. Looks like she's, obviously coming off the bench and just trying to be that little bit of injection of length and 3-point prowess, but not her best season from the arc so far. I think she's on 31.1%, which isn't bad. but I know that she's got it in her to be a little bit more accurate and shooting 36.5 overall and only 60% from the free throw line. But to be fair, I don't think she gets the free throw line too often. But one of her highlights so far of the season is against Bendigo. She had 12 points and 5 rebounds and had 2 from 3 from the arc in those 12 points. And that was all in only 21 minutes. So certainly her best and most efficient game of the season. Still waiting for her just to have a bit of a breakout season. I wonder if something in her off season or something needs to change or break a circuit or an alternative just to try and help her develop a little bit further.
All right, let's look up now, up to the roof.
Yeah.
Or just behind me, the roof there as well. But classic joke. I love to use it.
We would last year would say the roof was on fire, but the roof is just in flames instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. See what we did there?
Yeah. Just let me know, and I'll help you workshop those in the future. It's all good.
See, I told you I didn't come as prepared. Puns not really my thing either. I don't think I'm really that punny usually. So
I wasn't either until I became a dad, and then it's it's just it just happens. You don't.
It's your rite of passage. See, I won't have that. I won't ever become a dad.
I can't help you there, mate. Like
the end. I just ended that conversation.
But Ruth with the Flames in Sydney, of course. She absolute monster rebounding. Averaged, I think it was 7 rebounds a game, more than anyone else across NBL1 full stop, let alone NBL1 North. And of course, we'll be doing good things with Sydney as well.
Yeah, she was off to a really great start. So again, consistently high performer in NBL1 North, able to transfer that straight into the WNBL season. I think in her opening game, she had 25 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists against the Caps in that opening. And then for some reason, there's gone some games now where she's just not getting as many touches or scoring options. So there was a run of games there where she didn't have any points and very few rebounds. So I'm not sure if it's what they're running and Rufy's just used as more of a decoy or like to set the screens or to set it up for someone else. But I just don't feel like she's as involved offensively as compared to when she was playing for Townsville. And I don't know why. And I'd like it to change, please. So it's a shame when you see someone like that that's not being used as efficiently as possible. But now, unfortunately, Rufy is injured, despite, starting all 7 games played, injured with, I think, a ongoing knee injury, according to, I think, the Flames press releases, unfortunately. Yeah. But as it stands, we're still shooting at 40.4% from the field, 82% from the free throw line, rounding it up, and averaging 8.4 points per game, which we know she's capable of more of, but we just spoke about it. Still 9 rebounds a game, though, and just under 4 assists.
Classic Rufy.
Yeah, really. Always toying with that triple-double.
It's always just out there. Just out there. Yeah. Yeah, most of the time it's 10 points and 10 rebounds behind her when she's in the NBL1 North space, but WNBL, of course, competitions are might trickier, let's be honest. So, things are going to be averaged down a scooch, but she'll bounce back hopefully real soon.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see her again somewhere in the NBL1 North. It's, almost lock that in.
Yeah. But in the meantime, her teammate, Kayla George, has notched up 3,500 WNBL rebounds, and this is the first player to do so. So when Rufy can't, someone else can and has been. But, yeah, I'm sure they're still definitely missing her presence while she's injured.
Oh, for sure. For sure. She's an absolute gun baller. Again, friend of the show. But, definitely a on-court presence that would be missed for sure. All right, let's do you want to head back west a little bit, or do we want to head north?
Maybe back west
a little bit. All right, the UC Capitals.
Yeah, like 3 NBL1 North representatives in the UC Caps, which we love to see, with Ella Tofeono, who played for Townsville.
Yep.
Fire and Flames in the last couple of seasons. I was really happy to see her get a full contract for this WNBL season, because I knew that was something that she was working towards and was really one of her goals, and especially under Coach Paul Goris, who's just delightful and going to be a really good influence on Ella. Ella's had a pretty good start to the season, I think. Probably seeing a lot more time than she did last season, only being a DP with the Fire, so understandable. Yep. Playing that backup centre to Charlie Collier, and when you're the backup centre to a previous WNBA #1 draft pick, not a bad gig. But yeah, she did start to see a few more minutes over time, but is unfortunately also now injured. Hence why Abby Bishop has been signed as an injury replacement for 3 games. But yeah, Ella is averaging 5 points.
Back from retirement.
Back from the 3-week retirement.
But like she said in the thing, she wouldn't have done it for everybody.
Correct.
It's, very, very specific, and obviously the team holds a special place. So.
And so good that she was able to make it back for the retro round as well. Yeah, real throwback to Bishop's, the start of Bishop's career.
Of course, Bishop, friend of the show.
Yeah.
There's a bit of that going on.
Starting to see a theme here. Ella is averaging 5 points per game, 4.4 rebounds a game, has played 13 of, I think, their 16 games so far. Great shooting clip as well from the field, 57.8, including 50% from the 3-point line. Just lacking in the free throws area, but I don't think she's had too many anyway. But the highlight being against Perth Lynx on the 12th of December, so not too long ago. She had 15 points and 10 rebounds with 4 blocks in 21 minutes.
Nice.
So her stocks were certainly going up, so it's very unfortunate that she's now found herself injured, but hopefully she'll be back on court very soon.
All right. And of course, do it again. Friend of the show, Indy Bowyer, obviously in Capitals jersey this season as well.
Yeah, another good one that I was glad she's got a full contract again under Gorry. I didn't realise as well, I feel like Indy has been on the scene a little while now, WNBL scene a little while now. I was still surprised to learn that she's still only 21.
Yep.
Here I was thinking, 24, 20. No, still only 21. Still got a lot of potential and a lot of development. So she is going to be an absolute gun if she just keeps her head straight and gets the right, keeps with the right coaching.
Yep.
But yeah, great to see her with the Caps. She's shooting 34.7 from the field overall. Still working on that consistency from the arc as well, shooting only at 30.4%. But look, against the Flyers, like she's getting minutes here and there. Against the Flyers, she had 5 assists in 15 minutes, which I thought was pretty impressive. Obviously on a mission and just being able to read the game in front of her a little bit more. And then her top score of the season so far was against the Spirit, where she had 10 points. So, yeah, certainly on the right path. I just hope that she has the right coaching and the right guidance around her, because she could be really, really special.
Very much so. And from the GC.
Yeah, straight from the GC. Katie Diebel, probably one of my favourite young point guards, I'm going to say. Nice. Has potential to be on an Opals roster in a couple of years, I'm going to say. She's
okay, heard it here first.
I think, basing it off when she was also a DP with the Flames under Shane Hill years ago, they also found themselves clouded with injuries at the end of the season. I think Shyla was out. Funda Nakasoglu was out. So time for...
Say that name 3 times.
I'm hoping I got it right first time. Did try and check myself before I attempted it. Yeah, I remember Diebel got some more time, and I was really impressed with her poise and her read and react game, especially. And this was just before she headed to Wake Forest for a couple of years in college. And, I can still see that now. I think she's also someone that's quite young that just needs to harness their decision-making skills, learning to play with pace, learning to play it back, learning when to share. Has all the right tools, just needs to refine them. But very exciting talent. So she's shooting at 34.8% overall from the field, 35.5% from the three-point line. I know that she does workouts with Derek Rucker and Alex Koenig, so she's in good company of developing that shot. Or I should say she's got a great shot, just being more consistent under pressure, which will just come with maturity. And highlight was 4 assists in 11 minutes against Geelong only a couple of weeks ago. But I really hope that she also just stays under the right guidance and with the right development, and she could be really good.
All right, let's head north. Let's breathe straight past Brisbane and not even have that debate. Let's move past SEQ where there is no team and go to FNQ, far north Queensland, Townsville, that have signed a gaggle of players, and not just Townsville.
Correct.
Flames ones.
Correct. Yeah, so starting with the DPs, we had Magella Carey. She played also for the Seahawks. Yep. Great to see her as a DP again for the Fire. I don't think she's taken the court, though, so far this season, other than Hoops Fest. Hoops Fest being the preseason tournament, just to remind.
Geez, that had good commentators.
Possibly. Maybe not always on their best day, but they were there.
Yeah.
With limited resources. But yeah, she played so well at Hoops Fest. So I was really happy to see her so comfortable having a slight leadership role, because a lot of youth got invited to Youth Fest from different teams. But that was always also really exciting.
Hoops Fest, not Youth Fest.
Yeah.
Might have felt like Youth Fest.
It certainly did, especially when we were trying to research all the 16-year-old players from Geelong United, and all we could find was an article by a very, very local newspaper about how they made the under-14s high-performance squad. And I was like, right, we've got nothing. This is it. This is it for us. So definitely
nice.
Like Youth Fest.
Yep.
So I don't think Margello has taken court yet. However, Jess McDowell-White, Northside Wizards.
And the Wizards.
She is also DP again with the Fire, has played 7 games. Most game time she's seen this season was against Geelong, where she had 12 minutes and racked up 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists in those 12 minutes. But yeah, it just sounds like she's having a great time up there. I think she's done a couple of radio spots with Courtney Woods for, I think, Hit FM that they have a partnership with. Just really enjoying working on a game, very focused. Also someone that I'm a big fan of. Just a true point guard, like Deeble, just born point guards. And that's where they need to stay. Yeah, love it.
All right. We got 3 left.
We do. We'll save the biggest for last. I'll keep working my way up in this tier.
Are we going height or...
Oh, yeah. Height versus performance versus status.
Yep.
I'll just keep going up on the list as I've written it. So I'll start with Saffron Shields. Again, another one we need to remind ourselves. She's still only a teen. 19, I think. Yes, 19, because she played at the under-19s Asia Cup last year. Young and very talented, big skill set, tall, got the length. Also had a
such injuries. A future.
Yeah, huge future. Shooting 45% overall from the field, which is great. Still working on that 3-point percentage, 31.3, which is not bad, but still room to grow, and I'm sure she will. Biggest game of the season so far was against the Flames, where she had 18 points, 4 rebounds and 2 assists in 24 minutes. And she's averaging 6.2 points per game, 3 rebounds per game and 2.3 assists per game. So still contributing in a lot of different ways in a very talented team. But yeah, I imagine she will stay there and under Shannon for a little while, I think. Yeah. Yep.
Great place for her to continue to grow.
Yeah.
And you just got to look at the gaggle of players that Shannon has helped through this exact kind of transition through this age, and just help their game immensely. And, feels from the outside like a perfect fit. So hopefully we continue to see it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then staying in Townsville in multiple ways, Townsville Junior, played for Townsville in the NBL1 North last season.
If it ain't broke.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, that's right. Stick to what you know. It's Alex Fowler. Another one of my favourites that I feel like I've said that for the last 4 people. But yeah, Alex debuting for the WNBL last season with the UC Caps, heading back home with the Townsville Fire. Reconnected with her Portland teammate in Lucy Cochran as well. I think, understandably, Alex's role in this squad compared to when she played for the Caps is very different and perhaps not as much responsibility, which is fine. So not going to see as big a numbers as we did last season, but everything in context. She started 3 of their 15 games played so far, also shooting a great clip so far this season. So 55.6% from the field overall. And she's 54.2% from the 3-point line this season, 13 from 24, which is outstanding. It'd be hard to find someone that would be rivaling that right now. I would go and check on the website, but for the complete stats that we would want, whether we're on a podcast or commentating or just fans, you do have to use a combination of the website and the app, which, look, maybe another conversation for another day, but I'm sure people are going to be picking up what I'm putting down when I say that.
Yes, and look, we've spoken about the potential of the changes coming in the future. Hopefully all that will be some of the first stuff that they pick up, because from the NBL1 side and the NBL side, those things are dealt with fairly well. While those systems aren't perfect, they're certainly a lot better.
Yeah. There's a lot of room for development there. I think I was talking. That was
an aggressive octave change.
Yeah. I think I got my point across with the octave change,
I think you did.
Yep. I was talking to someone last week actually about things like this, and my biggest worry about these missing pieces for a league that is so important and has so much history and that needs to be celebrated more is that we're going to lose that history. We're not going to archive and record things properly. We're going to lose all of it. So we shouldn't have to rely on local legends like Dean Andrews on X that will consistently tweet things like, congratulations, Ali Wilson, for getting blah, 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 blah. Congratulations on, he is the stat guy. And it's not his job, but he does it, and we're grateful for it. But hopefully something's going to change soon. Yeah,
because I know obviously, with this and the commentary, it's great to even just go on the NBL1. And it doesn't necessarily have every stat line and everything that you want, but it's got these players' journeys right throughout their NBL1 stuff. And there's been a few times I was like, oh, I didn't even realize 4 or 5 years ago they'd had a run. They had 5, had 5 games where they had a run with such a team down in the south. Or So that stuff is important. Hopefully it's treated well moving forward, and that history is maintained.
Yes, I digress. So Alex Fowler, though, being, winding it back into it, Alex Fowler being the example where I wanted to compare her stats between her first season with Caps and now, maybe reflective of her new roles and new systems, but unable to do that. But look, she's still shooting a great clip. She had a double-double against Adelaide in November with 10 points and 11 rebounds. She had 14, 5, and 4 against the Flyers a couple weeks ago. So she's still doing a lot of great things. Also an Aussie junior, that question mark one for the Opals a little bit later.
All right. Well, there is just one left. Just one left. And she is the media sensation, taking Townsville and the internets by storm. That's Woodsy.
Yeah, the resident cowgirl, Courtney Woods.
That's it. Friend of the show.
Yeah.
Throw it in. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. She's having, an absolutely amazing standout season up there. this year in Townsville. Obviously, she's been there for a couple, but this year's she stepped up.
Yeah, bigger role, bigger responsibility. I think this is the season that everyone was waiting for and hoping for, especially because she has dominated NBL1 North the last 2 seasons, and now certainly this time it's transferred into WNBL. I think it was time. Yeah, and I know that a lot of the Courtney Woods fans that I know are just really happy that it's now eventuated that she's getting. A lot of her diehard fans believe that she should have gotten more time in the last couple of seasons than she has, especially last season. Still kind of playing that really great 6-woman role, always making an impact off the bench last season. And people are like, why isn't she starting? Why isn't she getting more minutes? And here she is, and she's making the most of it. So, yeah, she's an absolute stud of the Townsville Fire.
Is indeed. And, of course, you will see her all over the Townsville socials. She's been getting around that and doing a great job too.
Yeah, and that includes, I think we mentioned before when we were talking about Jess McDowell-White, the stuff with Hit FM, but statistically she's had 4 games with 20-plus points, so that was against Perth, Adelaide and Geelong, having 25, 25, 23 and 24 respectively. She started all 15 games. She's shooting at 43.7% overall, 36.4 from the 3-point line, 90% rounded up from the free throw line. She's averaging 16.1 points per game, 6.1 rebounds per game, 5.5 assists a game. So always flirting with that triple-double as well here and there. I think in the Caps, against the Caps when she had the double-double, that was points and assists, 24 and 11. Geelong, she had 23, 5 and 6. Adelaide, 25, 5 and 8. So consistently high numbers from Woodsy. And it's also earned her, she's been in the WNBL Team of the Week 5 times this season and Player of the Game 3 times this season. So she's, this is her time.
It's Woodsy's time. And she's, grabbed the bull by the horns. Having a great one.
Yeah.
So it's good
wrangling it in or whatever other, I don't know, references to whatever.
Wow, your farming knowledge just knows no end.
Yeah. I know nothing of farming, and even maybe less about being not most about being a coast, but certainly more about being a coaster than being on the farm.
Cool. Let's leave that there.
Yeah.
All right, that does wrap up our NBL1 North. And where are they now in the WNBL segment? Thank you for joining us, but you're not off the hook. It is time for local card shop of Woolloongabba Crackem. All right.
Not that I'm dreading it or anything. The pressure.
Hopefully there's less crickets in this pack than there has been over the summer with Indian team coming out. But let's get into it. Panini Prism 2023, Brittany Griner. Bet on women is the tag on the front. Let's get into it. Let's see what shiny, magnificent things are in here.
Yeah.
Let's do it. For those of you who haven't played local card shop or Woolloongabba Crackem before, there's at least one card in here you're going to get. Or really should. But for those of you who haven't played before, I read the back of the card, which, of course, the backs of cards are normally designed so that you've seen the front of the card, but it's your job. Jump in at any point with a name. You're not going against anyone. It's empty chair. So it's you versus, your reputation.
Yeah, that's pressure. You're supposed to be making me feel more at ease, but I feel the pressure's getting worse and worse.
No, it's definitely getting worse and worse. Yeah. So there are 4 cards. Let's see who we get. Let's see how we go. Okay, let's do it. Okay, for the Atlanta Dream. After an up and down, and I will jump in and just say that I will also, whenever I get to the person's name, I say somebody. So, no clues are normally given as I steamroll through and say the person's name accidentally, which has happened never before. Never before. All right, after an up and down season as a rookie, somebody looked more like her star self as a sophomore in 2022. I wanted to reintroduce myself to the fans, said the former number 3 overall pick. I would say I'm getting back to being a slasher. The game has slowed down for me.
Wow.
That is it. That's what you get. Yep. Number 2 for the Atlanta Dream.
Yeah, I'm not very good at remembering numbers either. I'm just going to take a stab and say Nia Coffee.
No. I will give you a cryptic clue, and at her last name is a place where you can definitely get a coffee. Her last name is a place where you can definitely get a coffee.
Is their last name Starbucks?
No. Think American big brand though. Yeah.
American big brand. Oh my
the biggest world brand there is.
Of coffee.
No, just of world brands.
Coca-Cola.
It's Ari McDonald.
Oh my God.
Okay. All right.
Basketball signups is a very slowly finding themselves again.
Finding their way back.
I'm sorry, Ari. I'm a fan as well.
Sounds like it. Okay. Card number 2 for, excuse me, local card shop of Woolloongabba, Crackem WNBA edition for the Indiana Fever. Here we go. Renovation, and it's not that Indiana Fever player either. I'll put that out there. Not this one. Not Caitlin Clark. Oh, the. Oh, bold.
Yeah.
Bold. I'm glad you said it. All right. Renovations at their own arena forced the Fever to host Dallas at the historic Hinkle Fieldhouse on July 24, 2022, and somebody added to the I'm going to spell this word because I haven't come across it. Gamut. Gamut? Gamut?
Yep. Gamut.
Yep. Gamut. Probably that one. Of great performances at the decades-old facility. The Guard showed out on the hallowed grounds that date back to the 1928, leading all players with a season-best 34 points on 13 of 23 shooting.
34 points in 2023.
The Indiana Fever, number 0.
Oh, man. I know Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull.
Same first name as a famous plum.
Oh, Kelsey Mitchell.
There we go.
Yeah. Something.
I'm going to put myself down for a Wilson assist there.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated.
All right. For the Washington Mystics. Here we go. Somebody was a key piece of Washington's 2019 championship run. After securing that ring, she fled to Los Angeles and helped the Sparks, making her grand return to the nation's capital in 2023. The veteran signed back with the Mystics to help put together another playoff charge. That's it. It's a gorgeous, shiny card too.
Very cryptic. So
yes, well, they normally, you normally look at the front before you turn it over and look at the back. So,
I do appreciate though the information on the back because it's not just your average stuff that you already know. So
up to this point, she'd played 369 games.
Whoa. So Mystic Sparks back to Mystics.
Yes, madam.
Mystic Sparks back to Mystics.
Gorgeous shiny card too, which doesn't help you at all.
No, but thank you.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing it later.
Yeah, you'll see.
What position are they?
Not stated on these cards. Not stated. It is on some, not on this one.
Mystics. Oh man.
Looks to be wearing a great pair of Mambacitas as well. Again, probably information that doesn't help you. Yeah.
I can't think of anyone that went between those two clubs.
All right. Last name ends in Ver.
Last name ends in Ver.
Ver.
Nah.
Tolliver.
Oh.
Christy Tolliver.
Oh, okay. There you go. Sorry, Christy.
All right. This one you'll definitely get, and this one is a nice card, actually. This one might go in a one-touch card safe, actually. To get one from a card draw. Once we're off air, but yes, this one is one of the names.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Pressure.
Yeah. For the Mercury. Firing out of the gates, somebody turned heads when she led the league in three-point attempts as a rookie in 2004. Fans would quickly get used to that green light, which still hasn't changed to yellow. Topping the charts yet again in 2022, the veteran drilled 3 trays per contest.
Ooh, Diana Taurasi.
There it is in the widescreen.
That is a sick card.
Yes,
That
it
is
is.
really cool.
It is. But that one's going to stay in-house, and you're going to go home with this Christy Tolliver shiny.
And then I will never forget the name ever again.
Yeah, right. But that brings local card shop of Woolloongabba Crackem to an end.
Oh, I'm so relieved.
You've got 1.5 there. Like I said, it's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing. Can be hard. And sometimes they're deep rookie cuts as well. So sometimes they go real deep into the bench. So it can be tricky, but what we love about Crackem.
Yeah.
Puts our experts in the hot seat. And there's a reason I'm in this seat and not that one, because no one wants to see that episode. No one wants to see that episode.
One day it will happen.
Oh, it's happened before, and I've done surprisingly well. But that doesn't mean it nees to happen again. So,
correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Mac had tried to, he came at the king once or twice. And, we got lucky. But you best not miss, and he did. So, all good. But big thank you for jumping on. Great to have you on board again, especially now that you're a Brisbaneite. Live in Bris Vegas, Brisneyland, or
I refer to myself as a Brisbaneite. I think that's a cool name.
You're the only one, but that's okay.
Yeah.
The thinks it's cool anyway.
And that's how you can tell that I'm not from.
There are other clues. But thank you for joining us and helping us break down NBL1 North to WNBL. Where are they at the moment? And hopefully lots of them come back. But sadly, it's just the way it works. We've already lost a great one in Hank and other things. But thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me again, and thanks for this sick hat.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
You won't see me without it now.
Good. Can't wait to see the sweat stains in the side. That's the test of a true hat love.
Yeah.
It lives on your head. It's got those salt marks up the side, high schooler style.
Yeah. I can almost guarantee that will happen.
Nice. All right. Of course, big thank you to Official Beer Company, the official beer of basketball, Podfire podcasts, and of course, the local card shop of Woolloongabba. That is going to wrap us up here for another week. But we will be, back to a little bit more regular programming now that New Year has started back in the country after a little getaway, a little jaunt over to tick some things off a bucket list. Sadly, we weren't able to get to French Lick this time. Weather closed in, and sad day. But, is what it is. But if you are listening out there on a streaming service that allows 5-star reviews, please do go ahead and do that. That stuff really does help. Until you're listening to us again, just remember, that ball don't lie.